When you come into our store, I promise you'll find an amazing selection. You'll get the best customer service and better deals. You're going to love our brands like Lazy Boy, Serta, Ashley, Catnapper. And if you don't find what you're looking for in the showroom, we'll help you special order at no additional cost. So every time you shop with us, you're going to find great prices like Lazy Boy recliners starting at only $2.99. Maybe it's time for a mattress, and I promise you'll get the help you need and the mattress that gives you a great night's sleep when you shop with us. Maybe you need furniture for the kids, or a lift chair or lift recliner. We're proud to make sure that we have what you want. You'll get the best service and the best deal. And we always have some clearance items. Right now it seems like we have a lot, and they're all marked with special tags to make those special deals even easier to find. Shop where you count and where you get better deals at Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress on Fort Campbell Boulevard, Hopkinsville.
It's that time again, Holiday Open House, Saturday, November 12th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., hosted by the Princeton Caldwell County Chamber of Commerce. You can find something for everyone on your list at great savings. Visit the following businesses during the Holiday Open House. Stop by the Tin Roof with 20% off for Christmas, door prizes, and refreshments. The Tin Roof will also be open from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Stop by Treasures Remembered for 20% off store-wide and 50% off all fall decor. There will be additional sales throughout the store, and there will be door prizes. After shopping, head out to Pollyeyes and dine with them. That's the Princeton Caldwell Chamber of Commerce Holiday Open House, Saturday, November 12th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
For the past 2 years, nothing that we've been talking about has been elections all across the Commonwealth of Kentucky, here in the city of Princeton, and our nation as well. As on tap for this evening is election for the President and Vice President of the United States for the next 4 years. Also at stake in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, a election for the United States Senate, as Rand Paul, the current incumbent, seeking a second term, going up against the mayor of the city of Lexington, Jim Gray. Here locally, we have city council elections here in the city of Princeton. 9 individuals vying for 6 slots to be able to serve a 2-year term on the commission of the council for the city of Princeton. We're pleased to be able to bring you all these results when they come in on 103.3 WPKY, and we're going to be carrying this live. We'll be having Shirley Boyd Gray will be at the courthouse along with Kathy McEnany bringing us those results. Working the controls here this evening is Jordan Dunn, and I'm Bridget Miller sitting in this evening bringing you all the election results. It's going to be an awesome night as we determine who will be leading our country, our state, and our city council for the next several years. Come back and join us as we'll be bringing all this action to you on WPKY.com, streaming live, and of course we're also here on 103.3 WPKY. We're going to take this brief time out and come back, and we'll be starting to get some election results here on the station with exclusive coverage for Caldwell County and the state of Kentucky and the United States of America, action regarding the election process for 2016. Back after this quick time out.
Hey Tiger fans, it's the second round of the Class 3A state playoffs as your Caldwell County Tigers host the Adair County Hawks Friday night at Tiger Stadium. Come on out to Tiger Stadium and check out the game if you can. However, if you're unable to make it, you can catch it all right here on your hometown radio station, 103.3 FM The Tiger, and streaming online at WPKYonline.com. The Caldwell County Tigers take on the Adair County Hawks live Friday night with Dennis Stevens and Bob Hayes at Tiger Stadium.
It's that time again, Holiday Open House, Saturday, November 12th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., hosted by the Princeton Caldwell County Chamber of Commerce. You can find something for everyone on your list at great savings. Visit the following businesses during the Holiday Open House. Stop by the Tin Roof with 20% off for Christmas, door prizes, and refreshments. The Tin Roof will also be open from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Stop by Treasures Remembered for 20% off store-wide and 50% off all fall decor. There will be additional sales throughout the store, and there will be door prizes. After shopping, head out to Pollyeyes and dine with them. That's the Princeton Caldwell Chamber of Commerce Holiday Open House, Saturday, November 12th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
If you've not been to Pleasant Valley Bulk Foods, then you need to go. Pleasant Valley Bulk Foods offers a full line of Troyer fresh cheese and meats. The deli has fresh homemade bread, sweet breads, white, wheat, and sourdough, and it's made fresh daily. Pies and cinnamon rolls made from scratch. You'll find a wide variety of spices, flour, sugar, and cornmeal. You will love the homemade jams and jellies. Pleasant Valley Bulk Foods has a wide variety of gluten-free foods, and you have got to try Mrs. Miller's hand-cut noodles. If you would like to have smoked turkey for your Thanksgiving meal, just call or stop by and they will smoke your turkey and have it ready Wednesday. Come out today. Pleasant Valley Bulk Foods, located at 5630 Pleasant Valley Road in Princeton. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, and Saturday, 8 to 4.
And we welcome you back to the station WPKY 103.3, streaming live on WPKY.com. I'm Bridget Miller here in the studio bringing you the election coverage. Also with me will be Jordan Dunn this evening at the Caldwell County Courthouse to be able to bring you the results from the 13 precincts that are outstanding here in Caldwell County. Will be our own Shirley Boyd Gray and Kathy McEnany. In looking at, Jordan, what we're going to be having on tap this evening, I'd like to be able to give some results from what we're trying to watch the TV as well. There's already been projections, and even though it's just 10 minutes past 6 o'clock, polls should be closed here in Caldwell County, but of course in the Eastern time zone they're an hour ahead of us. It's already been projected, to no one's surprise probably, that state of Kentucky has gone on the presidential race in favor of the Republican Donald J. Trump. And also, so he's picked up Kentucky, and also the 11 electoral votes at stake in the state of Indiana is going to his vice presidential running mate, Mike Pence. So they've picked up both Kentucky and Indiana on their projections, and they've also talking about that the home state of Bernie Sanders, the opponent for Hillary Clinton in the primary, and with that, there goes 3 electoral votes, and they're projected to go for former Secretary of State on the Democratic nominee and candidate Hillary Rodham Clinton in Vermont. So it ought to be an interesting evening here that we're going to be having the results. Before we get into election coverage, you've heard some previous announcements that we've had in commercials. I want to echo that and remind you that on Friday evening, the Caldwell County Tigers round 2 of the playoffs will be in effect, and it'll be here at Tiger Stadium as well. The Hawks from Adair County will be coming and giving the will be coming and giving their come up and try against the Tigers, but we're looking for a Tiger win. I'm assuming, Jordan, we've got some results.
We're about to go live to the courthouse, I believe with Shirley Gray, where we're going to have absentee results.
This is Tony Watson, Caldwell County Clerk. We're getting ready to read the results from our election today. We've had a good day. We had a lot of voters. We'll see how many in about an hour. Shirley Gray from WPKY, the Tiger, is going to be reading our vote totals tonight. There are some write-ins on each ballot that we will not know who they were for until after all of the precincts come in. And I, the county sheriff, and the Democrat and Republican committee members review these and see whether they are eligible to be counted. We will do that tonight before we leave here. We hope to have the results so everyone knows before we leave here. But if not, they will be made available in the morning. Our first 3 tallies that we are going to read are from absentee voting, absentee mail-ins, absentee voter walk-ins who voted on the e-scan, and absentee walk-in voters who voted on the e-slate. So I'll turn it over to Ms. Gray. Mail-in.
We're live from the Caldwell County Courthouse. Shirley Boyd Gray getting ready to read the results from the absentee walk-in and mail-ins for this 2016 general election.
Okay, and you said these are the absentee mail-ins. Okay. For President and Vice President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, Michael R. Pence, 73. Hillary Rodham Clinton and Timothy Michael Cain, 50. Gary Johnson and Bill Weld, 6. Rocky Roque, and La Fuente, Michael Steinberg, 0. Jill Stein and Ajimu Baraka, 0. Eva McMullen, Nathan Johnson as a write-in. That name's up there with nothing, no total beside it. 2. Okay. And then write-ins, nobody on that. Was for Johnson, Eva Mullen, and Evan Mullen, and Nathan Johnson. McMullen, excuse me. And then for United States Senator Rand Paul, 75, and Jim Gray, 55. In the United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, James R. Comer, 81, and Samuel Gaskins, 41. United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, unexpired term, James R. Comer, 79, Samuel L. Gaskins, 41. State Representative, 4th Representative District, Lynn Beckler, 89, and there were 2 ballots cast for write-in. Constable, 3rd Magisterial District, unexpired term, write-in, 1. Member, Board of Education, 1st Educational District, Bill Clift, 20. Member, Board of Education, 4th Educational District, Susan Beth Knight, 15. Member, Board of Education, 5th Educational District, Kimberly A. Jackson, 18. In the City Council race in Fredonia, Angela C. Blair, 2. Donnie Boone, 2. Melissa Missy Fawn, 2. Molly Bennett Tabor, 2. And Jimmy Don Seibert, 2. For the City Council race in Princeton, Jim Joyner, 48. Allison Van Hooser, 37. Brian Wayne Martin, 22. Kelsey H. Kelly Crisp, 36. Edward D. Schmidt, 22. Brian Conger, 23. Sheila Gates, 45. Pat George, 47. Richard Blackburn, 26. And 1 write-in. Total ballots voted in this precinct is 134.
That's been the...
These are absentee ballots that were walk-in votes in the presidential race, President and Vice President of the United States. Donald J. Trump, Michael Pence, 143. Hillary Rodham Clinton and Timothy Michael Cain, 39. Gary Johnson, Bill Weld, 4. Rocky Rowe and La Fuente, Michael Steinberg, 0. Jill Stein and Ajumu Baraka, 1. Evan McMullen, Nathan Johnson, 4. And 2 write-in votes. United States Senator Rand Paul, 132. Jim Gray, 57. And 1 write-in vote. For United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, James R. Comer, 142. Samuel L. Gaskins, 38. In the United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, unexpired term, James R. Comer, 141. Samuel L. Gaskins, 38. State Representative, 4th Representative District, Lynn Beckler, 148. 1 write-in vote. Constable, 3rd Magisterial District, unexpired term, write-in, 1. Member, Board of Education, 1st Educational District, Bill Cliff, 27. The 4th Educational District Board of Education, Susan Beth Knight, 24. The 5th Educational District Member Board of Education, Kimberly Jackson, 17. And the City Council race in the City of Fredonia, Angela Blair, 0. Donnie Boone, 0. Melissa Missy Fawn, 0. Molly Bennett Tabor, 1. Jimmy Don Seibert, 1. And then in the City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 56. Allison Van Hooser, 68. Brian Wayne Martin, 31. Kelsey H. Kelly Chris, 48. Edward Schmidt, 25. Brian Conger, 26. No, 53. 53, never mind. Yeah. Sheila Gates, 62. Pat George, 51. Richard Blackburn, 40. There was 1 write-in vote. The total ballots voted, 195.
See, these are all. No way. Yeah. Okay. Some of those races did not have.
And Jordan, that looks like the absentee votes from the mail-in and also the walk-ins on it, and it looks like a very commanding lead for Donald Trump just on the absentee votes here in Caldwell County. Also, it looks like we're going back to the courthouse.
The 3rd Magisterial District did not have anyone file for that race. So if there are any write-ins, they will not be counted. So if you want to save yourself a little breath, you don't even have to read that one out.
Okay, and that's the match,
in the
constable.
3rd District, the
3rd
constable, because
Okay.
no one filed for it.
Okay.
All right. These are the absentee walk-ins on the E-slate.
Okay. Okay, these are absentee ballots on the walk-in on the E-slate machine. President and Vice President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, Michael Pence, 42. Hillary Rodham Clinton and Timothy Michael Cain, 10. Gary Johnson, Bill Weld, 2. Rocky Roque, Della Fuente, Michael Steinberg, 0. Jill Stein, Ajumu Baraka, 0. Evan McMullen, Nathan Johnson, 0. United States Senator Rand Paul, 37. Jim Gray, 15. United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, James R. Comer, 37. Samuel Haskins, 17. United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, the unexpired term, James R. Comer, 34. Samuel L. Gaskins, 18. State Representative, 4th Representative District, Glenn Beckler, 38. Member Board of Education, 1st Educational District, Bill Cliff, 8. Member Board of Education, 4th Educational District, Susan Beth Knight, 6. Member Board of Education, 5th Educational District, Kimberly Jackson, 5. And the City Council in Fredonia race, Angela Blair, 0. Donnie Boone, 0. Melissa Missy Fawn, 0. Molly Bennett Tabor, 0. Jimmy Don Seibert, 0. In the City Council, City of Princeton race, Jim Joyner, 15. Allison Van Hooser, 14. Brian Wayne Martin, 5. Kelsey H. Kelly Crisp, 12. Edward D. Schmidt, 8. Brian Conger, 13. Sheila Gates, 10. Pat George, 11. And Richard Blackburn, 12. Total votes cast in this walk-in was 55. And while we're waiting for some of the precincts to report,
we'll give it back to you guys at the radio station.
Thank you, Shirley. It looks like so far, I just want to make some comments. When you heard about the uncontested race or unexpired race, when you're talking about the U.S. Representative in Congress 1st District, Ed Whitfield, the current sitting congressman, has decided not to seek re-election, has gone ahead to be able to retire or resign, so that's why we need to have someone to be able to fill that slot until January comes around. So then that's why you're hearing that there's 2 vote totals for him and also for Samuel Gaskins. James Comer, the Republican, seeking to take the open seat from the retirement of Ed Whitfield, along with the Democrat Samuel L. Gaskins, and both of them are competing for the 1st Congressional District, the unexpired term, and the current 2-year term as well. Also looking at, it should be interesting to note that on the City Council, I have to check my history correctly on it. It looks like there are 5 individuals that are running for slots down there. The council's made up of 6 individuals, so you'll probably have to have an appointment somewhere later on down the line. But at this point in time, it looks like that there's 5 individuals seeking 6 slots down there. Also with the City Council of Princeton, the current council members of Jim Joyner, Ed Smith, Sheila Gates, Pat George, and Richard Blackburn running for re-election, as also that you're looking with Allison Van Hooser, Brian Wayne Martin, and also Brian Conger seeking to come in and go on the council as well. So out of the 9 individuals running, they'll be filling 6 of those seats with it. Again, we've already heard on the, according to TV reports that we're looking at, it looks like already has been called early that the state of Kentucky has been projected to be won by Donald J. Trump, and that is 8 electoral votes. The state of Indiana, you're looking at, that's the home of Mike Pence, Governor Pence, and his electoral votes have been projected to go for him as well. Over in Vermont, Hillary Clinton has projected to win that state's 3 electoral votes, and that's the home of Bernie Sanders, Senator Sanders, who was the previous opponent of Secretary of State Clinton in the primary on it. So we've just had the absentee votes so far come in, and there are 3 of those. You had mail-in, you had the walk-in, and then you also had the walk-in on the E-slate as well. And it looks like, and not having the totals with me as of yet on it, looks like Donald Trump and Michael Pence have a commanding lead over Hillary Rodham Clinton and Timothy Michael Cain. And there's 5 individuals seeking president from other parties on it, but the main ones, it looks like Trump and Pence have commanding leads over Clinton and Cain on it. Looking at the United States senatorial race, same thing for Rand Paul, who's trying to seek his 2nd term as United States Senator. He looks like he has a commanding lead so far over Jim Gray. Vote totals so far has been 132 votes, 75 votes, and 37 votes to Mayor Gray's 15, 55, and 57 votes. Lynn Beckler is trying to seek a 3rd term as state representative, as he's garnered 38, 89, and 148 votes here in Caldwell County, and his district is going to be made up, I believe it's going to be 4 county, or 3, I believe 3 or 4 counties that he's going to be looking to try to go back and represent at the State House this year. Jordan, is also interesting. The United States Senate is currently controlled by the Republicans. Our own Senator Mitch McConnell is the majority leader there, but if you flip, I believe it's going to be 4 of these races nationwide, then that can do a changing in from Republican to Democrat. The House is probably going to be safe over there because it has several members that are Republican, and so I believe it'll be safe in that staying in Republican control. But I know the Democrats were looking at trying to pick up extra seats over in the Senate, and depending upon whoever's going to be the president on it. Of course, we've already talked, I think, for the past 18 months, one of the most important things that you're going to be looking at on this election for the president of the United States, more likely than not, you have several or Supreme Court justices that on it, Jordan, will probably be retiring, and then that appointment would be coming by the president, whoever that might be, either Mr. Trump or Ms. Clinton, and of course then it's with the confirmation by the United States Senate. So, a lot riding on with the Supreme Court as to who's going to be becoming the president of the United States and the appointments that they would be making on that. Also looking at the educational districts, you have 3 individuals running in the 1st, 4th, and 5th areas there: Bill Cliff, Susan Beth Knight, and Kimberly A. Jackson. Again, no opposition for them, so they will be coming back, or should be coming back, as the representatives on the school board. We have 13 precincts here in Caldwell County, and again, by the time they close up shop and get back to the courthouse, we ought to be having those results coming in momentarily. And once they come in, based upon prior years, they all come fairly quickly, so we'll be having a lot of numbers coming as one precinct right after the other. But we've just had the absentee given to us, and they were counted earlier. So it ought to be an interesting evening here, as it will be when we watch all across the Commonwealth of Kentucky what's happening up in the eastern part of the state and central part of the state, and of course here in western Kentucky as well, for the United States senatorial race between Mayor Gray of Lexington and the current United States sitting Senator Rand Paul, as he seeks to have a second term. You're listening to the election coverage coming at you on 103.3 WPKY, all the election results here locally, and also you can catch us streaming live on WPKY.com. Jordan, I'm assuming we don't have anything back. Shirley, we have anything coming there from the courthouse yet? We've got Shirley Boyd Gray at the courthouse, along with Kathy McEnany, giving us those totals there.
I just advised them that I'm going to leave the connection hot. They can break in at any time. She'll let you know when she's about to talk. And
with the 5 electoral votes at play in West Virginia, TV has already predicted that the projected winner there is going to be Donald Trump. So that's 5 electoral votes they're projecting there. Also looking at it, says in Ohio and North Carolina, those are both swing states that are very important to both candidates. They're saying it's too early to call there.
A few moments ago I noticed Florida is really close, tight race right now too.
Too early to call down in Florida as well.
I think they were both at 48%.
You have to have 270 electoral votes to be able to be president of the United States, and that's the magic number that both Ms. Clinton and Mr. Trump are seeking to be able to get. Of course, with the time changes, election might already be determined insofar as the results that come in before you get out to the western part of the state, insofar as we've seen in prior elections. But I think this one's going to be fairly close with it here, even in the eastern and middle part of the state, to where it might even depend upon going out to the western part of the states. And again, they're 3 hours behind us when you get out in California, so I think it might even go all the way out there.
It's going to be a long night.
Exactly on it. You could be going, you might not be going into some elections, you're going to 4 or 5 in the morning, that whenever they had the Nixon and the Kennedy race as well. But I think you've just got some information, I believe, on Florida.
Yeah, 43% of the results in, Donald Trump at 48.9%, Hillary Clinton at 48.2%. Just what, about
29 electoral votes at play there. That's definitely one that we're going to have
30,000 vote difference right now, which is really not much in the scheme of things.
Exactly. When you talk about that close proximity that you had, and again, so far we're looking at just on the votes today, it's showing I think around 3 million votes cast down there when they're getting those totals coming in. Also, you're going to be looking at a third of the Senate is up for grabs this time on it. So as you do, each time that it comes around, I think a third of the Senate is at play in the United States Senate. With of course, representatives. All representatives are up, as they have a 2-year term each on it. But looking at what we have so far, trying to get, have you been able to total anything on the City Council of Princeton so far?
Not at all.
Okay, and we might not be able to get those totals in. Again, it looks like Jim Joyner had 1548 and 56. Allison Van Hooser 1437 68. Brian Wayne Martin 522 and 31. Kelly Chris 1236 and 48. Ed Smith 822 and 25. Brian Conger looks like 13, 53, and 23. Sheila Gates 10, 45, and 62. Pat George 11, 47, and 51. And Richard Blackman 12, 26, and 40. I want to remind you, these are unofficial. These are unofficial. I'm going to say it the third time, Jordan. These are unofficial, as we're getting them the same time that you would be getting them live coming from the station, trying to keep totals here, but trying to talk and write at the same time between Jordan and I both. And he has the added chore there of having to run the computer also. So
I gave up about three results in because I wasn't catching anything she was saying, and I knew you had more accurate.
Well, thank you, Jordan, for giving it all to me to talk and write it.
Right.
Throw me under the bus with it or whatever. No, we do appreciate all the work that the radio station has done here on it. The McAnanians and the Hugheses being able to bring you this broadcast this evening. Of course, Kathy McAnany is live at the Caldwell County Courthouse where the votes are being tabulated with our own general manager, station manager, Shirley Boyd Gray, Jordan Dunn here in
I hear
the
they
studio.
have a good crowd out there at the courthouse tonight. Everybody's come out to see the election results trickle in live.
Probably would be, because I know when I voted earlier today at the Eddie Creek precinct, and also there at the same one is the Blue Springs, when I thought they had a good stream of people coming in when I was there earlier this morning at about 9 o'clock. So, and that's good if we have a good vote total to be able to come in, especially, and you usually see that more so, Jordan, in an election year involving the President of the United States.
I was thinking about earlier today watching in 2000, the 2000 election. I was 10.
Let's not mention the 2000 election.
Yeah, that was my first one I ever watched on television. And I stayed up pretty late that night hoping to find out who the president was going to be, because I don't know, it seemed interesting. I never really thought about the president until that election,
That you were 10. Wow, but I won't even tell you how old I was back then. But quite a big age difference between Jordan and I on that. But that's good to be worth it. Jordan, I'm trying to see if I can see that well for president. Is that what, 49, 47%? It looks like Trump 40 in Florida, 49 for Trump, and also it looks like. Let's see, that might have just been certain counties they were picking up.
They're comparing 2012 totals to today's totals, county by county. Right, I
think now they're saying all of Florida. They're showing. No, again, this was from.
That was 2012
from last year.
Totals. But 49.3% right now for Trump, and I believe it was down to 46% for Hillary.
It's already been projected.
47%.
It's already been projected that the Commonwealth of Kentucky has gone for Donald J. Trump, the Republican, and that's really not any surprise, as you didn't really see either he or Miss Clinton.
I think they've given Illinois. No, that's Indiana.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think, and you really didn't see either of them campaign here, because it's pretty much the foregone conclusion Trump would be looking well here on it. They called Indiana very quickly, and again, that's Mike Pence's running mate, so that's 19 votes that they picked up there for the Electoral College, 11 out of Indiana and 8 out of Kentucky.
Yeah. I don't know, I think CNN's having problems with their map currently. But
what the buttons that they're pressing, blue and red, keep changing on us here.
Yeah, it did. But I'm sure that'll be the big conspiracy story tomorrow. But
Yeah, exactly. And of course, you can always tune in tomorrow morning to get the official results, which will be given to us by county clerk.
It will likely be a long night on the national race.
Could be on, but you'll have that in the morning news, I'm assuming. And the official votes are given by our county clerk afterwards. She'll read all those off, and that will be verified by them. What we're giving to you is just the unofficial
preliminary.
Results. The unofficial results that we have. Again, the issues that we're looking at this evening, or the contested race, is going to be very important. United States Senator Rand Paul seeking his second term. The Republican against the Democrat mayor from the city of Lexington, Jim Gray. Also, you're looking at the United States Representative Congress with the retirement of Ed Whitfield, over 20 years service as a representative. He is retired, so you're going to be having someone fill the unexpired term, and then someone to go in for that 2-year term as well. And James R. Comer is the Republican candidate in both those races, as is Samuel L. Gaskins in both races, who is the Democrat. It looks so far here in Caldwell County, Comer has 3479 and 141, and Gaskins has 1841 and 38. So good lead there for Comer. We've just had the absentee ballots here, and see, Jordan, and I'll try to do a little tabulating here if you have anything you're seeing on the radio or on the TV.
Current totals in Florida right now: 49.8% for Trump and 47.3% for Clinton. That's with just 47% of the votes in. Trying to see currently electoral vote totals right now in the presidential campaign. Donald Trump with 24 electoral votes so far with the states that he has won so far. Clinton with 3 with her win in Vermont. Several states considered too close to call at the moment. Georgia, Ohio, several others. It's hard to see this television from where I'm at. Virginia as well being considered too close to call. And both Carolinas, North and South Carolina, all being considered too close to call right now. Next polls close in just 20 minutes. Time right now is 6:39. I guess that'll be the other half of the state of Kentucky. Those polls will close here in just a few minutes, and then we'll see the rest of the Kentucky totals come in.
In the city council race here in Princeton, I'm trying to do some quick adding here. It looks like the preliminary figures I have, and again, these are just from the absentee ballots, and you'll have 9 individuals are seeking 6 seats. 9 individuals are seeking 6 seats, and the unofficial totals, I've got Jim Joyner with 119 votes, as is Allison Van Hooser, 119 votes. It looks like we've got Brian Wayne Martin with 58 votes, 96 votes for Kelly Crisp, 55 for Ed Smith, Brian Conger, 89, Sheila Gates, 117, Pat George, 109, and Richard Blackburn with 78. So again, that's just from the absentee votes. And again, let me just say, I'm trying to add these quickly in my head on it and talk at the same time. So it's those are unofficial vote totals on it. But we did see that's from the walk-in, the mail-in, and the walk-in e-slate, and that was 134, 195, and 55 votes total with it. So that looks about like 280 votes were cast in from the absentee votes. They're also showing in the state of Ohio, the projected winner there defeating Ted Strickland is Rob Portman. He's the Republican. Rob Portman is going to be the senator from the state of Ohio.
So he holds his position.
Correct. He holds his seat on it. Big race that we're looking in North Carolina for the Senate, and then it looks like 16-point lead for Richard Burr. He is the Republican there.
Yep, 6% of the votes in. Yep, he is up.
Over Deborah Ross. And about 260,000 votes cast there. Big one in Florida. Marco Rubio has 51.9% of the vote there against 44.1. I'm sorry, it looks like 43.9. He's increased his to 52 to 44, so he's maintained a 8 percentage point lead in there. Marco Rubio was one of the 16 individuals vying for the presidential nomination, which was ultimately won by the nominee Donald J. Trump. It's showing that Donald Trump on the projection from CNN shows that Trump has won Indiana, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Clinton has picked up Vermont. And I think the electoral vote count is 24 for Mr. Trump, 3 for Ms. Clinton. And when you look at that, Jordan, the magic number is going to be 270.
Which is handy for us. It should be easy for us to remember 270. Lots of polls closing.
Yeah, let's see if we can pick up Shirley at the Caldwell County Courthouse, if she can give us an update as to where we are because usually when these votes come in, they'll be coming in very quickly because everyone will be coming in trying to get them tallied. And once they do this, we'll be going very fast to be able to have the 13 precincts that we're looking at. 13 precincts at play this evening will be Fredonia, and that will be where the city council race for the city council of Fredonia will be. You have the precincts of Fredonia, Donaldson, White Sulphur, Briarfield, Bull Run, Butler, Bucksnort, Wards Creek, Airport, Harmony, Big Springs, Eddy Creek, and Dulaney, the largest precincts that you'll be finding here. I believe you're looking at Eddy Creek, Butler, and also on the turnout that we'll be having, probably also those are the ones that we usually see in the past, Butler, Bucksnort, and also Eddy Creek. We'll have to see what the totals are going to show this evening, especially when you've had so many individuals that have gone out for a presidential race. They're predicting record amounts to be able to do that.
Here we go with Shirley Gray.
Jordan. Hey,
Oh.
Bridgie. This is Kathy McNamee here at Caldwell County Courthouse.
Hey, Kathy.
We are still waiting for precincts to come in.
Well, all right. Do you have any, or several have come in, I'm sure, hadn't it, Kathy?
No, the only results we have are the absentees and the walk-ins. And here they come. They're just walking in right now with them. Give us a few minutes to get organized, and we'll be right back with you.
Okay, we appreciate it. It's Kathy McEnany at the Caldwell County Courthouse along with Shirley Boyd Gray. She said they don't have any other results as of this time other than absentees, but she has said that several have just come in, and it takes a while to shut the machine down, do the tapes, and when they closed at 6 o'clock or whoever is in line can still go ahead and vote at that time, but it takes a while to be able to get it in, but they move them fairly fast though when they do come in. But we're pleased to be able to bring you all this live coverage from the Caldwell County Courthouse. Kathy McEnany and Shirley Boyd Gray. Shirley has been the reader for I won't tell how many years. That gets into hers and my age on it, Jordan, as to how long she's done this, but does an excellent job on it. And of course we have Jordan Dunn here at the station, and I'm Bridget Miller, being able to bring you all this coverage here of the 2016 election for the President of the United States and Vice President, also of the United States Senator. Also here in the city of Princeton, you're looking at contested races for the city council and also council races down at Fredonia as well. 13 precincts that we have here in Caldwell County, and hopefully we'll be getting those results in fairly quickly. Also, an open seat exists. We're in the 1st Congressional District. We have 6 congressional districts, and we have one individual from each party as we usually have running for it. I don't believe there's anything from any other parties running other than the Democratic and the Republican, as is different when we have in the President United and Vice President. You have Democrat and Republican there, and 3 other parties running as well. But you've got James Comer trying to take the seat currently held and now retired by Ed Whitfield, spent over 20 years in Congress, and also the Democrat Samuel L. Gaskins is looking to take that seat as well, and they're going for an unexpired term, the unexpired term of Ed Whitfield, as they are also looking for the full 2-year term on their own for this open seat.
Okay, we are about ready to go here at the courthouse.
Good. That's Kathy McEnany saying we're about ready to go and get the precinct.
Switch over to Shirley right now. Okay.
I think we're going to be getting Bull Run, if I heard correctly.
Okay, we have our first precinct reporting. It is Bull Run, and this is going to be the E-Slate machine. E-Scan, excuse me. This will be the E-Scan. In the presidential race, Trump-Pence, 281. Clinton and Kane, 71. Gary Johnson, Wells, and Bill Wells, 7. Rogue and Ferente Steinberg, 0. Jill Stein and Ajamu Baraka, 2. McMullen and Johnson, 5. For United States Senator, Rand Paul, 241. Jim Gray, 123. United States Representative, 1st Congressional District, James Comer, 269. Samuel Gaskins, 84. And for United States Representative, Congressional District, unexpired term, Comer, 257. Gaskins, 87. State Representative, 4th District, Lynn Beckler, 276, and 2 write-in votes. Board of Education in the 5th District, Kimberly Jackson, 122. And for City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 110. Allison Van Hooser, 121. Brian Martin, 94. Kelly Crisp, 85. Edward Schmidt, 60. Brian Conger, 92. Sheila Gates, 106. Pat George, 90. Richard Blackburn, 76. Total votes cast in this precinct, 367. Next precinct we have reporting is Bull Run. In the presidential race, Trump Pence, 34. Clinton and Kane, 7. Johnson and Weld, 0. Roque and Steinberg, 0. Stein and Baraka, 1. McMullen and Johnson, 0. United States Senator Rand Paul, 32. Jim Gray, 10. And the United States Representative Congressional District, 1st District, James Comer, 34. Gaskins, 7. And the 1st Congressional District unexpired term, Comer, 32. Gaskins, 8. State Representative, 4th District, Lynn Beckler, 36. There was 1 write-in vote cast. Board of Education, 5th District, Kimberly Jackson, 12. And for the City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 10. Allison Van Hooser, 10. Brian Martin, 9. Kelly Crisp, 12. Edward Schmidt, 6. Brian Conger, 10. Sheila Gates, 8. Pat George, 11. And Richard Blackburn, 4. Total ballots voted in this precinct, 42.
You're listening to Shirley
These
Gray
votes
live.
cast at Butler on the e-scan machine. For President and Vice President, Trump Pence, 159. Clinton Kane, 117. Johnson Well, 5. Roque Steinberg, 0. Stein Baraka, 2. McMullen Johnson, 1. And 1 write-in. United States Senator Rand Paul, 130. Jim Gray, 150. United States Representative, 1st Congressional District, Comer, 155. Gaskins, 120. United States Representative, Congressional 1st District, unexpired term, Comer, 144. Gaskins, 121. State Representative, 4th District, Lynn Beckler, 187. And a write-ins total of 6. In the Board of Education race, 5th District, Kimberly Jackson, 179, and 2 write-in votes. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 181. Allison Van Hooser, 192. Brian Wayne Martin, 99. Kelly Crisp, 118. Edward Schmidt, 69. Brian Conger, 118. Sheila Gates, 162. Pat George, 147. Richard Blackburn, 120. There were 5 total write-in votes for that?
Yes.
Is that what you get? Okay. Total votes cast this precinct, 287. Now in the Butler precinct, voting on the E-slate machine in the presidential race, Trump Pence, 41, Clinton Kane, 36, Johnson Wells, 5, Rogue Steinberg, 0, Stein Baraka, 1, McMullen and Johnson, 1. In the United States Senator race, Rand Paul, 38, Jim Gray, 46. United States Representative, 1st Congressional District, Comer, 41, Gaskins, 40. In the Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, unexpired term, Comer, 39, Gaskins, 39. State Representative, 4th District, Glenn Beckler, 60. Board of Education, 5th District, Kimberly Jackson, 62. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 49. Allison Van Hooser, 61. Brian Wayne Martin, 35. Kelsey Kelly Chris, 39. Ed Schmidt, 19. Brian Conger, 45. Sheila Gates, 52. Pat George, 38. Richard Blackburn, 27. And there was 1 write-in vote cast. Total ballots voted in this precinct is 86.
Garfield, East Can.
And now as the Briarfield precinct on the E-scan machine in the presidential race, Trump Pence, 430. Clinton Kane, 79. Johnson Wells, 12. Roque Steinberg, 0. Stein and Baraka, 1. McMullen Johnson, 9. And 4 write-in votes. United States Senator Rand Paul, 375. Jim Gray, 156. United States Representative in 1st Congressional District, James Comer, 414. Samuel Gaskins, 106. And then in the unexpired term of 1st Congressional District, United States Representative Comer, 394. Gaskins, 110. State Representative, 4th District, Glenn Beckler, 444. And 7 write-in votes. 1st District Board of Education, Bill Clift, 350, and there were a total of 8 write-in votes. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 4. Allison Van Hooser, 3. Brian Martin, 2. Kelly Chris, 2. Ed Schmidt, 1. Brian Conger, 0. Sheila Gates, 2. Pat George, 2, Richard Blackburn, 4, and the total votes cast at this precinct, 538. Now we have Briarfield with the E-slate machine for the presidential race. Trump Pence, 18. Clinton Kane, 2. Johnson Wells, 0. Roque Steinberg, 0. Stein Baraka, 0. McMullen Johnson, 0. And then in the United States Senator race, Paul, 15. Jim Gray, 5. In the congressional 1st Congressional District, James Comer for United States Representative, 18. Gaskins, 2. United States Representative, Congressional 1st District, Comer, 18. Gaskins, 2. And for State Representative, 4th District, Lynn Beckler, 19. Board of Education, 1st District, Bill Cliff, 16. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 0. All candidates receiving 0 votes in the City of Princeton race there. Total ballots voted in this precinct are 20. Yeah.
Okay, boys, we're going to go back to you for a few minutes. Jordan, are you there?
Yeah, thank you, Kathy. You've just heard the votes. It looks like we've had the absentee votes that have come in, and also from the votes from Briarfield and Bull Run. And
Okay, they're ready again.
okay, we have another precinct.
This precinct is going to be Harmony on the e-scan machine. In the presidential race, Trump Pence, 309, Clinton Kane, 49, Johnson Wells, 7, Roke Steinberg, 0, Stein Baraka, 1, McMullen Johnson, 2, and 1 write-in. United States Senator Paul, 267, Gray, 98, and 1 write-in vote. For representative in the 1st Congressional District, Comer, 297, Gaskins, 64, and 1 write-in vote. United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, unexpired term, Comer, 291, Gaskins, 60, and 1 write-in vote. State Representative, 4th District, Beckler, 298, and 3 write-in votes. Total ballots voted in this precinct, 370. There were no votes on the East Lake machine. There were no votes cast on the East Lake machine at the Harmony precinct. Okay. The next precinct we have is Dulaney, and these are going to be votes off the East Lake machine. In the presidential race, Trump Pence, 22, Clinton Kane, 6, 5. Excuse me, it's 5. Eyes just failed me for a moment. East Lake, yes. That is correct, 5. Rope and Steinberg, 0. Stein and Baraka, 0. McMullen and Johnson, 0. And then in United States Senator race, Paul is 20. Gray was 7. In the 1st Congressional District, Comer, 19, Gaskins, 8, and United States Representative, 1st Congressional District, unexpired term, Comer, 19, Gaskins, 7, State Representative, 4th District, Lynn Beckler, 21, with 1 write-in vote. 4th District, Board of Education, Susan Beth Knight, 22, City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 11. Allison Van Hooser, 14. Brian Wayne Martin, 8. It is 8. Kelsey H. Kelly Chris, 10. Ed Smith, 4. Brian Conger, 14. Sheila Gates, 11. Pat George, 6. Richard Blackburn, 5. And total votes cast in this precinct, 27. This is going to be Precinct Dulaney on the E-scan machine. In the presidential race, Trump Pence 321, Clinton Kane 88, Johnson Wells 7, Rogue Steinberg 0, Stein Baraka 0, McMullen Johnson 7, and 1 write-in. In the United States Senator race, Rand Paul 273, Jim Gray 147. First Congressional District Representative Comer 313, Gaskins 104. And the also Congressional First District Representative unexpired term, Comer 300, Gaskins 101. And State Representative District 4th District, Lynn Beckler 316 with 6 write-in votes. 4th District Board of Education, Susan Beth Knight 292, and there were 3 write-in votes. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner 177, Allison Van Hooser 199, Brian Wayne Martin 121, Kelsey H. Kelly Crisp 158, Edward Schmidt 67, Brian Conger 172, Sheila Gates 157, Pat George 147, and Richard Blackburn 123. There were 10 write-in votes, and the total votes in this precinct, 430.
E-scan.
Okay.
And I got the extra tape.
This will be Eddie Creek voting on the E-scan machine. And for the presidential race, it's Trump Pence 381, Clinton Kane 120, Johnson Weld 11, Roque Steinberg 1, Stein Baraka 3, McMullen Johnson 3, United States Senator Rand Paul 330, Jim Gray 184, and United States Representative Congressional 1st District Comer 379, Gaskins 121. And then the Congressional District 1st District unexpired term, Comer 376, Gaskins 114, State Representative 4th District Lynn Beckler 366 with 8 write-in votes cast. In the City Council of Princeton, Jim Joyner 238, Allison Van Hooser 299, Brian Wayne Martin 138, Kelsey Kelly Crisp 179, Ed Schmidt 90, Brian Conger 232, Sheila Gates 277, Pat George 233, Richard Blackburn 134, and 1 write-in vote cast, for total ballots voted in this precinct 527. This is Eddie Creek, East Lake. Okay. This is Eddie Creek, votes cast on the East Lake. For President, Trump Pence 39, Clinton Kane 8, Johnson Weld 0, Roque Steinberg 0, Stein Baraka 0, McMullen Johnson 0, United States Senator Rand Paul 34, Jim Gray 13, 1st Congressional District United States Representative Comer 36, Gaskins 9, United States Representative Congressional District 1st District Comer, and this is the unexpired term, Comer 36, Gaskins 8, State Representative 4th District Beckler 42, City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner 12, Allison Van Hooser, 25, Brian Martin, 13, Kelly Crisp, 15, Ed Schmidt, 5, Brian Conger, 22, Sheila Gates, 18, Pat George, 17, Richard Blackburn, 4. Total ballots voted in this precinct, 47.
Big Spring, East Camp.
And in Big Springs, voting on the E scan, for President, Trump Pence, 154, Clinton Kane, 36, Johnson Wells, 0, Roke Steinberg, 0, Stein Baraka, 3, McMullen Johnson, 0, and 1 write-in vote. United States Senator Rand Paul, 124, Gray, 70, United States Representative in the Congressional 1st District, Comer, 139, Gaskins, 45. Also in the United States Representative Congressional District, 1st District, for the unexpired term, Comer, 136, Gaskin, 43. State Representative, 4th District, Lynn Beckler, 144, with a write-in of 2 votes. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 95, Allison Van Hooser, 109, Brian Wayne Martin, 58, Kelly Crisp, 71, Ed Schmidt, 24, Brian Conger, 78, Sheila Gates, 91, Pat George, 73, Richard Blackburn, 65. There were 2 write-in votes cast for a total ballots voted in this precinct of 196.
Big Spring, East Lake.
Yes. Big Springs Precinct, East Lake machines. In the presidential race, Trump Pence, 30. Clinton Kane, 10. Johnson Weld, 1. Roke Steinberg, 0. Stein Baraka, 0. McMullen Johnson, 1. United States Senator Paul, 21. Gray, 18. And the 1st Congressional District Representative Comer, 29. Gaskins, 9. And the 1st Congressional U.S. Representative race for the unexpired term, Comer, 29, Gaskins, 8. State Representative, 4th District, Glenn Beckler, 32. And for the City Council of the City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 16, Allison Van Hooser, 19, Brian Martin, 9, Kelly Crisp, 12, Ed Schmidt, 5, Brian Conger, 16, Sheila Gates, 18, Pat George, 18, Richard Blackburn, 13. Total ballots voted in this precinct, 44.
East Lake.
In the White Sulphur Precinct, East Lake, the presidential race, Trump Pence, 19, Clinton Kane, 8, Johnson Weld, 1, Roke Steinberg, 0, Stein Baraka, 0, McMullen Johnson, 1, United States Senator Rand Paul, 17, Jim Gray, 11, United States Representative Congressional 1st District, Comer, 20, Gaskins, 8, and in the unexpired term of 1st Congressional District, Comer, 20, Gaskins, 8, State Representative 4th District, Lynn Beckler, 22, 4th District Board of Education, Susan Beth Knight, 20, City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner 7, Allison Van Hooser 10, Brian Martin 2, Kelly Chris 7, Ed Schmidt 5, Brian Conger 7, Sheila Gates 6, Pat George 8, Richard Blackburn 5, and total ballots voted in this precinct 29. Golfer, East Scan. White Sulphur Precinct, East Scan, presidential race, Trump Pence 351, Clinton Kane 129, Johnson Wells 17, Roke Steinberg 1, Stein Baraka 7, McMullen Johnson 2, and 3 write-in votes. United States Senator Rand Paul 295, Jim Gray 210. And for the 1st Congressional District, James Comer 330, Sam Gaskins 159. And for the United States Congressional 1st District unexpired term, Comer 320, Gaskins 155. State Representative 4th District, Lynn Beckler 388, and a total of 6 write-in votes. 4th District Board of Education, Susan Beth Knight 317, and 2 write-in votes. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner 178, Allison Van Hooser 189, Brian Martin 105, Kelly Crisp 129, Ed Smith 71, Brian Conger 157, Sheila Gates 153, Pat George 141, Richard Blackburn 134, a total of 6 write-in votes. Total ballots voted in this precinct 515. White Sulphur, East Lake. We've already done East White Sulphur, East Lake. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're going to take a short break here and regroup and see if some more precincts have come in.
All right, Bridgie. Lots of results came in on that dump, as we're going to.
Yeah, exactly on it. And Jordan, when you had, it looks like of the 13 precincts, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4. Apparently 5 have report. 5, 6. It looks like 8 out of them have reported. When you talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that leaves Fredonia, Donaldson, Bucksnort, Wards Creek, and also the airport precinct to report. Looking at some things that are interesting on this, and I want to bring this to the attention. On the City Council of the City of Princeton, looks like the newcomer Allison Van Hooser appears to be number 1 in the vote total so far. Looking at it,
wow.
In the absentees, she had 119. Come on over to White Sulphur, look at 189. That led everybody in the pack there. When you look over at Briarfield, that was just about 3 votes cast on that one. Then you go into Bull Run, you're looking at a pretty good majority, or a pretty good lead there. She had 131. Then you get on over into Butler. You're talking about, again, I've not totaled these up, about 250 over theirs. And then you come on over into the Big Springs. You're looking at about 130 there. And then it gets on up into even larger figures, about 3 1/4 over in Eddy Creek, and of course about 215 over in the Dulaney precinct. And I think those are pretty much going to be the majority leaders. So the newcomer Allison Van Hooser is probably leading the pack. In the city of Princeton, on the council, you have 9 individuals that are vying for 6 slots. So that's going to be interesting to see how the rest of it shakes out, especially when you have Fredonia, which would not figure into the city of Princeton council race, but you also have the Donaldson, Bucksnort, Wards Creek, and the airport precincts as well. So it looks like we can be saying that at least one of the newcomers is going to be coming in. And again, I haven't totaled on the others to be able to say what those totals look like. We're still waiting also on the final
Ricky,
totals.
We have a couple more
Okay.
precincts that just came in.
Okay, we got some more precincts
And I'll
coming
switch
in.
over to Shirley.
But it looks like Donald Trump and Mike Pence is carrying it by a great majority here
Okay, this
in
is
Caldwell
Bucksnort,
County.
and there were no votes cast on the E-Slate machine in that precinct. This is going to be votes cast E-Scan. In the presidential race, Trump Pence 415, Clinton Kane 97, Johnson Weld 9, Rogue Steinberg 0, Stein Baraka 1, McMullen Johnson 4, and 2 write-in votes. For United States Senator Paul 359, Gray 163, United States Congressional 1st District Comer 396, Gaskins 111, and 1st Congressional District unexpired term Comer 376, Gaskins 113, State Representative 4th District Lynn Beckler 391. There were 4 write-in votes cast. The constable in the 3rd Magisterial District, unexpired term write-in for 28. The total ballots voted in this precinct, 530. Donaldson Precinct, E-Scan in the presidential race. Trump Pence 279. Clinton Kane 38. Johnson Weld 2. Roque Steinberg 0. Stein Baraka 0. McMullen Johnson 1. United States Senator Rand Paul 223. Jim Gray 92. United States 1st Congressional District Comer 262, Gaskins 47. United States 1st Congressional District unexpired term Comer 257, Gaskins 46. State Representative 4th District Lynn Beckler 267, and 2 write-in votes cast. Board of Education 1st District Bill Clift 193, and 1 write-in vote. Total ballots voted in this precinct, 321. Donaldson, Eastlake. Precinct Donaldson, Eastlake. In the presidential race, Trump Pence, 11. Clinton Kane, 0. Johnson Weld 0, Roque Steinberg 0, Stein Baraka 0, McMullen Johnson 0, United States Senator Rand Paul 8, Jim Gray 3, and the United States Congressional 1st District Comer 9, Gaskins 2, United States Congressional 1st District unexpired term Comer 8, Gaskins 3, State Representative 4th District Lynn Beckler 10, Board of Education 1st District Bill Clift 8. Total ballots voted in this precinct, 11. I think. Fredonia Precinct, E-Scan in the presidential race. Trump Pence, 238. Clinton Kane, 53. Johnson Weld, 7. Roque Steinberg, 0. Stein Baraka, 3. McMullen Johnson, 2. And 1 write-in vote cast.
United States Senator Rand Paul, 219. Jim Gray, 82. United States Congressional 1st District, James Comer, 233. Gaskins, 63. 2 write-in votes. United States Congressional 1st District, unexpired term, Comer, 227. Gaskins, 60. Write-in votes, 2. State Representative 4th District, Lynn Beckler, 244. Write-in votes, 6. Board of Education 1st District, Bill Cliff, 206, with 3 write-in votes. City Council, City of Fredonia, Angela Blair, 81, Donnie Boone, 90, Melissa Missy Fawn, 100, Molly Bennett Tabor, 77, Jimmy Don Seibert, 71. There were 14 write-in ballots or votes cast in this precinct, and the total ballots voted in this precinct were 306. Fredonia East Slate. And in Fredonia on the East Slate in the presidential race, Trump Pence 103, Clinton Kane 16, Johnson Wells 3, Roque Steinberg 0, Stein Baraka 0, McMullen Johnson 1, United States Senator Rand Paul 86, Jim Gray 34, United States Congressional 1st District James Comer 100, Gaskins 21, United States Congressional 1st District unexpired term Comer 99, Gaskins 21, State Representative 4th District Lynn Beckler 110 with 1 write-in vote. Board of Education 1st District Bill Clift 84, City Council, City of Fredonia, Angela Blair, 39. Donnie Boone, 36. Missy Fawn, 43. Molly Bennett Tabor, 34. Jimmy Don Seibert, 34. And there were 7 write-in ballots cast, with total ballots cast in this precinct, 125. Okay, we're going to take a quick break now. We're caught up on precincts that have come in. I think we're still waiting on a couple, but we'll take it back to you at the station.
All right, we thank you, ladies. Shirley Boyd Gray and Kathy McEnany bringing us the results from the Caldwell County Courthouse of the 13 precincts. According to my figures, we have 11 of the 13 have reported. The only 2 that have not reported, looks like it's Wards Creek and also Airport. Wards Creek and Airport, just some preliminary observations here. Looks like great wins for Donald J. Trump and Michael R. Pence here in Caldwell County this evening. It's already been projected that they have won the state of Kentucky. Also, in the United States Senator, likewise with it, Rand Paul has done very well here in trying to seek his second term as United States Senator, as he has commanding leads over the Democrat Mayor Jim Gray of Lexington. Likewise, James R. Comer, the Republican, seeking the open seat from the retirement of Ed Whitfield from the unexpired term, and also for the full 2-year term has very good leads over the Democrat Samuel L. Gaskins, unopposed in what is going to be counting here on the votes themselves. Lynn Beckler from the 4th District. Also looking from the City Council of Fredonia, those individuals, 6 cert on the council, if my memory serves me on it, and 5 are on the ballot. So all those individuals should be going back on: Angela Blair, Donnie Boone, Melissa Missy Fawn, Molly Bennett Tabor, and Jimmy Don Seibert. Have to see about an appointment for the 6th seat there. And again, these are all unofficial and just based upon what my memory is, Jordan, and so far as how I remember my politics on how this can be done. The one that we're looking at that gives the most play here in the city of Princeton is the city of Princeton council race, and I believe we're going to be looking at Wards Creek and also the airport to be able to finish out who will be the sixth individual on the council as council persons for the next 2 years, and there are 9 seeking that. And looking at, I can do some figures here quickly, I think, on it, Jordan. From what I'm seeing on the absentees, it looks like the ones leading on the absentees on that was Jim Joyner and Allison Van Hooser. Jim Joyner's been on the council several years. Allison Van Hooser, first time running for office on it, both of them with 119. But just looking all the way across the board, I'm seeing that it looks like the leading vote getter from all the precincts that we've had so far has been Allison Van Hooser. And showing in the White Sulphur area, it looks like we're having about 199 there. Also looking over in the Briarfield, very small area there that you would have. Whenever you have the on Bull Run, you're looking at, I believe, 131 votes there. So, and then when you keep coming on over, it's looking a very good vote total over in the Butler precinct as well. In Big Springs, same thing there with it. She had 19 and 109 there, and then going on to Eddy Creek, 25 and 299, then Dulaney 199 and 14. So looks like she will, the first time running for office, will probably be the leading vote getter there. And seeing who is also coming in there, and again, I just don't have all the vote totals there. That who did you want on this, Jordan? I think you were doing some ads.
Start with Allison and give me all her totals again, because I thought I lost it halfway through. And
let me see if
we'll
I
just go down and do each one, and I'll try to add them up as well.
Okay, let's do this. Let's go with Jim Joyner. Let's go first off the bat here. Now, these are unofficial, of course. 15, 48, and 56, 7, 178, 4, 120, 49, 181.
What was the one before 181?
49.
Yeah. 49. Dang.
16. Jordan having equipment problems there on trying to figure out the vote totals there with it. But let me just try to go quickly down here and see what we're looking at. Again, 6 individuals will be on the council out of the 9 that we have, and we're awaiting on the Wards Creek and the airport totals here. And you're listening to WPKY 103.3, bringing you the election coverage and streaming live WPKY.com.
Let's take a look at our national presidential race, and maybe I can give you some time to add something up there. My finger was too big for them keys on that calculator. I was hitting numbers I didn't want to hit there. Currently, several states in, some being called too close to call right now. Hillary Clinton has taken Vermont, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., whereas Trump has taken Oklahoma, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, and West Virginia. Several states still considered too close to call. Hillary Clinton leading right now in Texas, Mississippi, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and North Carolina. Trump currently leading in Maine, Rhode Island, Virginia, Georgia, currently leading in Florida, Missouri, and Kansas as well. Right now, locked in electoral votes, Trump leads 60 to 44. Let's see. Yeah, still Florida, North Carolina, New Hampshire, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia all still being considered too early to call. Of course, I just gave you who's leading in those states. Polls just closed at 7 p.m. More polls closing in about 30 minutes, in about 27 minutes now. And according to the electoral map on CNN right now, Clinton leading with 68 to Trump's 66. So lots of results to come in. All of this very preliminary. I've already seen people on Facebook saying so-and-so's ahead or so-and-so's ahead. Well, it's pretty darn early in the night to be calling for anybody. And even in the states that have been announced, several, just small percentages of results being in. Bridgie, you know anything about the Paducah mayoral race? I've seen a lot of people posting about that.
Yeah, there's down there you've got the incumbent, Gail Kaler, is running, seeking her second term after the retirement of Bill Paxton from 4 years ago. So she's seeking to come in and go for her second term as mayor.
There's a young lady that's running as well.
I don't know who the other one is that's running, but that would be interesting to see. And also, when you look around in the Western Kentucky area, you have, I talked about earlier, and I want to say our pregame when we came on the air, several individuals, the Kentucky House of Representatives has not for the past 100 years, I believe, been in Republican hands, and it flipping 4 or 5 seats this evening would see it going to the Republicans' hands on it, and it's the last one in the South to have Democratic control. So, you're seeing quite a bit down here in Western Kentucky. I know Gerald Watkins is trying to come back either for his third or fourth term, excuse me, in that race. Against a very formidable challenger down there to see if Representative Watkins can keep his seat. He is presently a Democrat, and the sitting representatives down there. I know also Richard Heath is having challenge down there in one of the districts as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what the far western Kentucky is going to be having.
Nope, here we come with more results.
Ready to start back up with a couple more precincts.
Looks like we've got the last 2 precincts coming in. If my calculations are correct, that's going to be Wards Creek and Airport, and then let's go back to Shirley.
Here we go. I'm going to switch you over to Shirley.
This is going to be Wards Creek, I believe Tony said Eascan. In the presidential race, Trump Pence 214, Clinton Kane 44, Johnson Weld 5, Rhodes Steinberg 0, Stein Baraka 4, McMullen Johnson 4, and the United States Senator race, Rand Paul 189, Jim Gray 75, and 2 write-ins. United States Representative, 1st Congressional District, Comer 200, Gaskins 63. United States Congressional 1st District, unexpired term, Comer 189, Gaskins 62. State Representative 4th District, Beckler 211, with 3 write-in votes cast. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner 74, Allison Van Hooser 78, Brian Wayne Martin 42, Kelly Christ 63, Ed Schmidt 34, Brian Conger 72, Sheila Gates 66, Pat George 63, Richard Blackburn 63, and there were 2 write-in votes cast. Total ballots voted in this precinct, 271. East Lake. Wards Creek Precinct, East Lake. In the presidential race, Trump Pence 24, Clinton Kane 11, Johnson Weld 1, Rogue Steinberg 0, Stein Baraka 0, McMullen Johnson 2. United States Senator Rand Paul 22, Jim Gray 16. United States Congress 1st Congressional District, Comer 26, Gaskins 12. United States 1st Congressional District, unexpired term, Comer 26, Gaskin 11. State Representative 4th District, Lynn Beckler 31, with 1 write-in vote cast. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner 11, Allison Van Hooser 15, Brian Wayne Martin 8, Kelly Chris 10, Ed Schmidt 6, Brian Conger 8, Sheila Gates 12, Pat George 13, Richard Blackburn 8, and total ballots voted in this precinct, 38.
Okay, that's all we have for right now. We'll be waiting on 2 more districts to come back, so back to you guys at the station.
All right.
And let's see, if she said two more districts to come back, I think I've miscounted somewhere, or I have one of us is an error on it. Anyway, I think the only one remaining that I'm showing is airport on it. But I've been wrong before. So anyway, let's see what we have. 13 precincts total, and I'm showing a total of 11, which has come in addition to the absentees. Let me just try to make some, and these are unofficial. And again, I'm just trying to eye this and looking at it. On the city council.
Okay, Bridget, you are correct. There's only one more, and we're ready.
Okay, one more
It's
precinct
15.
coming back, and that's going to be the airport precinct.
Yes, it is. Here, Shirley.
All right, we have airport precinct N, and this is going to be the E-scan voting. In the presidential race, Trump, Pence, 387. Excuse me, is that a 6? 367. Yes. Excuse me, that will be 367 on Trump, Pence. Clinton, Kane, 133. Johnson, Wells, 5. Rogue, Steinberg, 1. Stein, Baraka, 2. McMullen, Johnson, 3. United States Senator Rand Paul, 317. Jim Gray, 191. United States Congressional District 1, Comer, 354. Gaskins, 137. United States Congressional District, 1st District, Comer, 334. And Gaskins, 143. State Representative, 4th District, Glenn Beckler, 367, with 2 write-in votes. Board of Education, 5th District, Kimberly Jackson, 350. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 297. Allison Van Hooser, 340. Brian Martin, 204. Kelly Crisp, 222. Ed Schmidt, 109. Brian Conger, 285. Sheila Gates, 280. Pat George, 239. Richard Blackburn, 206. And there were 2 write-in votes cast. And the total ballots voted in this precinct, 517. Airport, East Lake. In the airport precinct, voting East Lake. In the presidential race, Trump, Pence, 9. Clinton, Kane, 4. Johnson, Weld, 1. Rogue, Steinberg, 0. Stein, Baraka, 0. McMullen, Johnson, 0. In the United States Senator race, Rand Paul, 8. Jim Gray, 6. United States Representative Congressional 1st District, Comer, 10. Gaskins, 4. United States Congressional 1st District, unexpired term, Comer, 10. Gaskins, 4. State Representative, 4th Representative District, Glenn Beckler, 11. And on the 5th District Board of Education, Kim Jackson, 13. City Council, City of Princeton, Jim Joyner, 8. Allison Van Hooser, 8. Brian Wayne Martin, 6. Kelly Crisp, 7. Edward Smith, 2. Brian Conger, 8. Sheila Gates, 9. Pat George, 6. Richard Blackburn, 6. Total ballot. Richard Blackburn is 8. I think hard to make 6, but that's 8. All right. Total ballots voted in this precinct, 14.
Charlotte?
Yes?
I'd like to say that I'm proud. I don't know what the percentage is yet, but I know it has to be higher than usual. I appreciate John Rice, Sheriff Hudson, Samuel Dunning as our commissioners, election commissioners. All of the girls that work for me and my staff, they have really helped do a lot. This has really been a big election.
No
for
joke.
Caldwell County. and I'm proud that people turned out to vote. Whatever the outcome is, people ought to vote their choice, and I'm glad they went today. I appreciate the newspaper and WPKY The Tiger for covering the election and for doing stories leading up to the election. This has been a tough one for us. It's the biggest one in a long time.
Big, and
yes, it has. But it should be. All of them should be.
Right.
So I just want to say I appreciate all of the work that the precinct officers did, and I hope a lot of the voters thanked them today because they spend a lot of time for very little pay, actually, when you divide the hours up that they put in.
And they earn their pay today.
They earn their pay today, yes. But we appreciate everybody that helps with this election. My employees do a whole lot to get this thing together, and it is a whole lot of work to it.
It is. We appreciate the job you do, Tony.
Thank you.
You do a good job, and all of your girls. I guess we'll hang around here and try to get some totals here in a little bit, or unofficial totals, we know. But right now we'll give it back to you guys over at the station.
And we're back at the station here on Main Street in Princeton, Kentucky. I'm Bridget Miller. Alongside is Jordan Dunn. We just left the Caldwell County Courthouse. Shirley Boyd Gray, and also Kathy McEnany giving us the results from there. Of course, I can't come in and do, Jordan, the unofficial totals. I haven't had a chance to be able to wrap them up. Just some preliminary figures, though. We're looking at Donald Trump and Mike Pence had a very good win, it appears, here in Caldwell County this evening in the presidential race, as it's always been reported about 15 minutes after 6 o'clock that he won the state of Kentucky, at the same time also winning the state of Indiana. That is where Governor Mike Pence, his running mate, is from. On it, Rand Paul, it looks like, here in the Caldwell County anyway, had a very good evening over the challenger to go back for his second term as United States Senator, Mayor Jim Gray of Lexington. Also a very good evening here in Caldwell County for the Republican James Comer to be able to go in on the open seat vacated by the retirement of Ed Whitfield, who spent over 20 years in Congress, and it looks like he's going to be taking on a full 2-year term, as well as the unexpired term that he had from Representative Whitfield as well. Lynn Beckler has been unopposed here in Caldwell County. Very good totals for him, as is on the 1st Educational District, no opponent for Bill Clift. 4th Educational District, Susan Beth Knight, and no opponent there. And also Kimberly A. Jackson, they'll be going back on their seats on the Board of Education. City Council of the City of Fredonia, if my history reminds me correctly, there are 6 seats there on the City Council of Fredonia. I hope I'm right on that. Anyway, 5 out of the 6 seats. These individuals will be going on unopposed. They're Angela C. Blair, Donnie Boone, Melissa Missy Fawn, Molly Bennett Tabor, and Jimmy Don Cyber. And if I'm incorrect about whether or not there's 6 seats there, I do apologize. But those 5 individuals definitely going in there. Ms. Angela Blair, Donnie Boone, Melissa Missy Fawn, Molly Bennett Tabor, and Jimmy Don Cyber. City Council of Princeton, there are 6 individuals on the council in Princeton, and 9 people vying for that. Preliminarily, I believe it's safe to be able to say that the newcomer Allison Van Hooser is probably the leading vote getter, and she'll be going on as one of those 6 seats, as is longtime council person Jim Joyner on it. Looking on down the list, I do not even want to hesitate as to what the votes we're looking at as to who will be the other individuals, but there do appear to be high vote totals for Kelly Crisp, as well as is Sheila Gates, current council individuals there, and good showings from also, let's see, I saw that Brian Conger had several good vote totals, and Brian Wayne Martin on it as well. We'll have to see what the vote totals show whenever it's all said and done, whether or not Pat George and Richard Blackburn will be going back on the council on those seats as well. Again, these are all unofficial with it. Looking at with 29 electoral votes here, it looks like key race over in Florida. It's showing that Donald Trump has a 49 to 48% lead over Hillary Clinton there. And in looks like the state of Virginia, it's showing 50% to 45% Trump over Clinton. Again, these races have not been called on it, and there's 13 votes at play there. We're waiting for Tony Watson to give us the official figures now over in coming from the Caldwell County Courthouse. Looks like Hillary Clinton in North Carolina, that's a key state there. Again, they haven't predicted them yet, but 50% to 48% lead Clinton over Trump in North Carolina on it. Again, we want to thank everyone here that has been able to put this together and be able to do that. Tony Watson just gave the congratulations and the acknowledgement to her individuals, and I definitely want to appreciate the fine work that Kathy and Shirley have done down at the Caldwell County Courthouse, and of course Jordan over here. Don't yawn, Jordan. We're not done yet on it. But
Yeah.
Jordan has worked the board here and also checking on things, and we appreciate being able to bring this election contest to you here. Also want to give a big shout out and thank you to all the individuals on it, Jordan, that voted as well today, not only across the country but here in Caldwell County. It looks like very high vote totals there. We'll be doing this again in 2 more years when county races will be on tap, and so we'll be doing it again. But it's encouraging to be able to see these vote totals come up, and also the council races will be at play again, as will be the county races that we'll be having. Also, mayors of the respective cities of Fredonia and Princeton will be on the ballot as well. So I would just encourage everyone, keep it up. They're saying that it's too early to call the states of Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New Hampshire, North Carolina, and Florida right now, according to the reports we're getting from the news wires here. But again, as we get the final totals coming in as to who will be the individuals that will be represented, pretty much done deals and everything. We're just waiting for the final totals now regarding who will be the 6 individuals on the council here in the city of Princeton, and the 9 individuals vying for 6 slots: Jim Joyner, Allison Van Hooser, Brian Wayne Martin, Kelsey H. Kelly Christ, Edward D. Smith, Brian Conger, Sheila P. Gates, Pat George, and Richard Blackburn. The 3 newcomers: Allison Van Hooser, Brian Wayne Martin, and Brian Conger, seeking to take one of the seats from the incumbents: Joyner, Chris Smith, Gates, George, and Blackburn. And the mayor of the city of Princeton is Danny Beavers. The mayor of the city of Fredonia is Mike Board. So to be able to see who will be joining those seats down there as well for the next 2 years, to be able to run the local government. So again, we appreciate everyone who has worked very hard here and has done a great job. And of course, a shout out also to Tony Watson and her staff on the job that she has done. Jordan, do you have anything to?
Well, I can give you some state by state results so far in the presidential race. Donald Trump has taken Alabama, 62% to Clinton's 34%. Donald Trump's also leading in Arkansas right now. Only 1% of the votes in from Arkansas, but he's leading 57% to Hillary Clinton's 38%. Hillary Clinton's currently winning in Connecticut. She's leading 63% to 33%, and that is with 8% polls reporting. Hillary Clinton has taken Delaware, 54% to Donald Trump's 41%. She's taken District of Columbia, D.C. Currently in Florida, big race in Florida tonight. Who would have ever thought of Florida being a focus of a presidential race? But Donald Trump is leading right now, 49% to Hillary Clinton's 48%.
And I believe they've already predicted or projected that the current senator there, Marco Rubio, will be coming back for another term.
Right. And let's see, in Georgia, Donald Trump is leading with 61% of the votes. In Illinois, our neighbor to the north, Hillary Clinton is leading 70% to Donald Trump's 26%. Indiana, another one of our neighbors, Donald Trump has won that state with 59% of the votes.
That is Mike Pence, home state. Governor Pence is running mates.
Correct. And then in Kansas, Donald Trump is currently leading with 54% of the vote. That's only 1% polls reporting. Kentucky, Donald Trump has won Kentucky with 63% of the vote. Hillary Clinton is leading in Maine with 48% to Donald Trump's 45%. Very few polls closed in Maine. Hillary Clinton's projected winner in Maryland with 78% of the votes. She's the projected winner in Massachusetts with 59% of the votes. She's currently leading in Michigan with 50% of the votes to Donald Trump's 45%. Hillary Clinton's leading in Mississippi. She is not. That's just changed before my eyes. Very few polls closed in Mississippi polls are closed, I believe, in Mississippi, but only 1% reporting. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It shows Donald Trump with 46% to Hillary Clinton's 53%, but they have projected him as the winner, according to the news that I'm watching. Missouri, Hillary Clinton's leading with 51% of the votes. In New Hampshire, Hillary's leading with 52% of the votes. Hillary is the projected winner in New Jersey with 46% of the votes. In North Carolina, she's leading with 50%. In North Dakota, very few polls reporting in North Dakota, but Donald Trump currently with a 69% lead there. In Ohio,
that's a very important state for both these candidates here. That's what we've called one of the swing states. And when I talk about swing states, they could go either way with it, either for the Democrat or the Republican, but it's very important because of the number of electoral votes at play.
26% of polls reporting Hillary Clinton's winning 49% to Donald Trump's 48%. Just less than 20,000 votes separate them two, so still swinging in Ohio.
And it looks like they're showing that in the next couple of minutes, 14 states, their polls will be closing, and then results will be coming in.
Getting on to Oklahoma, Donald Trump has taken Oklahoma 63% of the votes. In Pennsylvania, Hillary Clinton's leading with 71% of the votes. In Rhode Island, she has taken Rhode Island with 57% of the votes. Donald Trump has won South Carolina with 60% of the votes. Just dropped to 59%, but he is the projected winner in South Carolina with votes still coming in. He is also the projected winner in Tennessee with 68% of the votes. Texas, I have watched Texas flip back and forth several times over the past 20 minutes. Donald Trump right now leading by less than 100,000 votes with 50% of.
That's always been projected and always seen in the past as being a blue or a Republican.
Only 2% of 2% reporting out of Texas.
I'm sorry, that's always been projected to be the state for the Republicans on it, but they're saying that it could be at issue, and now the Democrats have put a lot of time down there to see what, if anything, they can do to be able to bring that over into their column.
So far tonight, I can't believe it was only 2% reporting because I've watched it flip back and forth past few minutes.
One of the probably in the top 5 electoral states or that the most votes that you would have in there,
right.
And so very important state.
Vermont, we've already reported Hillary Clinton taking that state with 58%. Donald Trump's currently leading in Virginia. Very few votes separating the two candidates in Virginia. Donald Trump leading, though, with 50% of the votes.
A lot of time was spent by both candidates in that state, campaigning, thinking that it could go either way.
And it appears it's going either way. West Virginia has been called for Donald Trump with 65% of the votes. And
as is Kentucky, West Virginia is also a big coal-producing state, so that's definitely been leaning toward the Republican Party.
What I have based on Google's election results right now, Donald Trump taking Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, and Oklahoma. Hillary Clinton taking Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Donald Trump right now leading in Texas, Arkansas, Georgia, Florida, and Virginia, and North Dakota. Hillary Clinton right now leading in Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Missouri, and Kansas.
And the states there to watch on it would be in North Carolina, projected to be the swing state. Also, Florida, a very important state for them, and
Yep.
both have made bids in the last 5 days to try to take on Ohio and its electoral votes as well.
Seriously, 2,000 votes separate the two in Ohio right now, both with 48%, and that's with 28% reporting. So Ohio will be a big one to watch in the next hour or so. See what happens there.
Some of the pundits on it, Jordan, have been calling, once that they can call Florida, they feel like they can call the rest of the election then. But I don't know if they can when you're still not made a decision or a call on Pennsylvania, on Ohio, on North Carolina yet. And if you're putting all your eggs in your basket on Florida, I think it's going to go closer on that. Plus, I heard some of the pundits earlier talking about they think this election might be able to be called by, say, 10 or 11 o'clock. I don't know. It's it's 8 o'clock Central Time right now. That's still a couple of hours remaining in when 14 more states are getting ready to close their polls probably right now as we speak, as we move on out toward the Midwest and the western part of the state. That's going to be interesting to see if they're actually going to be able to make their 10 o'clock deadline.
Talking about Florida, 74% polls are reporting in Florida, and less than 100,000 votes separating the two right now.
Waiting for the official totals to be able to come in. It looks like from what I'm seeing on it, the newcomers have done well. Allison Van Hooser, Brian Conger, and also Brian Wayne Martin on showings this evening for themselves. And just looking quickly, I can say it looks like Jim Joyner and Allison Van Hooser will be back on the council. And again, I'm just trying to eyeball the rest of them, and I really wouldn't want to say for fear that I would be wrong and get called on it.
Yeah.
So
I have a feeling you'd get called on it.
yeah, definitely I would. So I'm not even going to make the projections on that, because I remember one year, several years ago, when I was doing this, I was about 70 some odd votes off, and somebody let me know about it. So I'm not even going to try to get close to that again. They just projected Hillary Clinton as the winner in New York, and that's the home state with their 29 electoral votes for both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. But they're saying that it looks like they projected with 6 electoral votes in the state of Kansas and Nebraska with 5 for Trump, as in Wyoming. So the Midwest out there in West going up in those states, picking up 3 for Trump, though. But with 6, 5, and 3 votes. South Dakota, they're also projecting for Donald Trump as well with 3 votes. But the name of the game that we're looking at, of course, you got to get the popular vote to be able to get your electoral votes on it. But at the end of the day, you can end up with a good popular vote but still not be able to be president. So it's the electoral map that we need to concentrate on, and that's 270 electoral votes that are needed to be president of the United States.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at right now with just 13% of the nation reporting popular vote right now, 51% for Donald Trump and 46% for Hillary Clinton.
But looking at what I'm seeing on the screen behind you there, do you have that on the electoral vote?
Well, Google, they hold back on calling as many states as
they're showing on the electoral vote right now 270 to win. They're projecting that Secretary Clinton has 97 and Donald Trump has 84. So
they're not showing any results for New York right now on Google, but they show Clinton with 68 electoral votes and Trump with 66, with the same popular vote totals I just told you.
Very close on that. Let's go back to the Caldwell County Courthouse, see if we can rouse Shirley or Kathy there, see if they have anything they can give us an update as to how long it'll be before we'll be getting the official totals there.
Kathy, can you hear us right now?
Yes, I can, Jordan. What they're doing right now is going through all of the write-in ballots to make sure that they are valid for use.
Right.
And there seems to be several write-ins, so this could take a little while.
All right.
Okay, with that, again, Kathy, appreciate it. I know they'll let us know and break in, let us know when those individuals' ballots are all cast and counted there. Again, 6 individuals will be the city council of the city of Princeton, 9 vying for it. Jim Joyner, Allison Van Hooser, Brian Wayne Martin, Kelsey H. Kelly Chris, Edward D. Smith, Brian Conger, Sheila Gates, Pat George, and Richard Blackburn.
This just coming in on my map here. This is Google's election results map. It updates every few seconds here. They project North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Wyoming all going for Trump, and that was just dumped on all those at once in one update here. Let me see. Yep, they as well show Clinton taking New York, and yep, still more results coming in every few minutes. Looking at the electoral map, CNN's electoral map, they're showing Clinton with 97 electoral votes and Trump with 84. So let's see. Coming in with an unofficial tally of the city council votes. Right now, an unofficial tally. Allison Van Hooser, 1,811 votes. Jim Joyner with 1,597 votes. Sheila Gates with 1,535 votes. Brian Conger with 1,425 votes. Pat George with 1,361 votes. And Kelly Crisp with 1,235 votes.
Okay. Read those again if you would, please. Let me write them down on it if you would.
Allison Van Hooser with 1,811 votes. Jim Joyner with 1,597 votes. Sheila Gates with 1,535 votes.
1,000 what?
535.
Okay.
Brian Conger with 1,425 votes. Pat George with 1,361 votes. And Kelly Crisp with 1,235 votes. Those are actually added up by Ellen Dunning, our judge executive.
Okay, so if you look at it, if these are correct, you've got Joyner with 1,597, Van Hooser 1,811, Sheila Gates 1,535, Conger 1,425, George 1,361, and Chris 1,235.
Exactly.
If that is correct, then on it, you're going to be looking at, that would be, I'm assuming since she gave those 6, I'm assuming that's the 6 top ones that will be going on it. And if that's the case, then the new council would be Jim Joyner, Allison Van Hooser, Sheila Gates, Brian Conger, Pat George, and Kelly Crisp with it. And again, votes ranging from 1,811 from Van Hooser down to the 1,235 by Crisp on it. So that would be the ones not making the top 6. Again, these are unofficial. That's going to be Edward Smith on it, Brian Martin, and also Richard Blackburn. Smith and Blackburn are currently serving on the city council. And we thank Judge Dunning for giving those figures to us.
Absolutely. Right in the middle of while you were trying to add your
trying to catch a break to be able to add a few in there on it. So again, and 1,811 votes leading vote getter by Allison Van Hooser. Next one to her on that would be Jim Joyner at 1,597. So that would be a margin of 214, and very good first outing for her. And again, these are unofficial, so it looks like the council, if these hold up, unofficial would be Jim Joyner, Allison Van Hooser, Sheila Gates, Brian Conger, Pat George, and Kelly Crisp. Also, good evenings, as I've said previously, for Donald Trump and Michael Pence here in Caldwell County, Rand Paul, James Comer, and Lynn Beckler, all of them from the Republican Party, as they will be either taking the elections here in Caldwell County on it. And when you look at it, Lynn Beckler, if that leads, Well, Lynn Beckler did not have any opposition, so he would be going back as a Republican into the House of Representatives, and I believe this is going to be, I think, his third term he'll be going in for that. We're waiting for the official votes to come in from the Caldwell County Courthouse.
I believe Kathy said that they're currently going through their write-in votes and seeing
Right.
which ones are viable and,
Right.
adding those up.
Let's see, you want to take a break from election coverage here
we
and
can.
pay a few bills and probably come back in about 2 minutes. You're listening to
Hearing you say pay a few bills brings me back to the football days. I like it.
Exactly.
Take a Trace Hughes time check
There you go.
right here.
We're pleased to be able to bring you election night coverage here from the Caldwell County Courthouse. Shirley Boyd Gray and Kathy McEnany there at the Caldwell County Courthouse. I'm Bridgie Miller here at the studio alongside with Jordan Dunn. And election night coverage here, 2016 elections here in our local county, state, and all across the United States. You're listening to 103.3 WPKY, streaming live on WPKY.com. Back after this quick timeout.
ABC News, I'm Mona Rivera. In Florida, no word yet on the presidential race, but ABC News is projecting that Republican Senator Marco Rubio will keep his seat. ABC's Paula Ferris is in the Sunshine State, where Republicans hope the Rubio victory rubs off on Trump.
It's all about Florida, and Trump's campaign knows that. It's virtually impossible for him to win the presidency without winning here in the Sunshine State. That's why he spent more time and money here than anywhere else.
State projections are coming in, and ABC News is projecting for Hillary Clinton, Vermont, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Jersey, Delaware, Illinois, Rhode Island, and Washington, D.C. For Donald Trump, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, Mississippi, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama. No surprises so far. The two candidates are reported to be watching the election turns with their families at sites a block apart in Manhattan before going on to election parties also in Manhattan, close to each other. This is ABC News.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-436-0169 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-436-0169 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-436-0169. That's 1-800-436-0169. Again, 1-800-436-0169.
From the WPKY Weather Center, here's a look at the latest local forecast on 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
And here's your weather forecast for tonight. A 30% chance of showers, mainly before 11 p.m. Cloudy during the early evening, then gradual clearing, low around 44. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 59. Wednesday night, mostly clear, low around 37. May have a little frost. Thursday, sunny, a high near 63. Thursday night, clear, low around 43. And the weekend looking clear with a low around 37 Friday night. Great for football, and sunshine Saturday with a high near 56. That's your forecast from 103.3 FM, WPKY, The Tiger.
This weather update has been brought to you by Steve's Taxidermy, right here in Princeton. Steve's Taxidermy specializes in taxidermy of all sizes, from squirrels to fish to bears. Call Steve 270-601-0611.
Herb Hayes Furniture, Hopkinsville makes it easy to find the furniture that you're just gonna love. At Herb Hayes Furniture, you find all the styles, the comfort, the fabrics and finishes, and the quality you've been looking for. Plus, along with the best selection, you get the best prices. No other furniture store gives you so many good reasons to buy new furniture. Living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, home office and entertainment, curios, lamps, pictures, and the best selection of mattress sets and memory foam sleep systems. Don't see the perfect piece in our huge showrooms? Herb Hayes Furniture has dozens of manufacturers and thousands of of fabrics for custom orders. So go ahead, have fun, and explore all that Herb Hayes Furniture has to offer. Herb Hayes Furniture, where you always get the best selection, you always get the best furniture, and you always get the best prices. Always. Look for the big American flag, and you found Herb Hayes Furniture, Fort Campbell Boulevard, Hopkinsville.
Herb Hayes Furniture, always the best.
It's that time again. Holiday Open House Saturday, November 12th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. hosted by the Princeton-Caldwell County Chamber of Commerce. You can find something for everyone on your list at great savings. Visit the following businesses during the Holiday Open House. Stop by Tattered and Frayed with 25% off store-wide, excluding Crossroad Candles and Twinkle Lights. There will be door prizes and refreshments. String Beans offering $3 drink specials, and Cannon Kitchens will be set up at String Beans and invites you to pick up some delicious fruit, breads, and other baked goodies. That's the Princeton-Caldwell Chamber of Commerce Holiday Open House, Saturday, November 12th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
2016 has been a blessed year for some, but for others in our community, it has been a difficult season. Morgan's Funeral Home of Princeton and Lakeland Funeral Home of Eddyville will pause to honor the lives of those lost with a candlelight memorial service. Beautiful music, a special photo presentation, and inspiring words of comfort and encouragement will be shared on November 17th at 7 p.m. during a silent night to remember at Ogden Memorial United Methodist Church in Princeton.
And we're back at 103.3 radio station here, WPKY, the Tiger, bringing you the election results from 2016 national, state, and local races. I've done some other tallying here, and again, we appreciate Ellen Dunning giving us the totals on this. It looks like on the city council that the individuals that will be going back will be Jim Joyner, Allison Van Hooser, Sheila Gates, Brian Conger, Pat George, and Kelly Crisp. Those vote totals were the Allison Van Hooser is 1,811, followed by Jim Joyner at 1,597, Sheila Gates 1,535, Brian Conger will be going in as a council person 1,425, followed by Pat George at 1,361, and Kelly Crisp at 1,235. Again, these are unofficial totals. I'm showing that Richard Blackburn had 1,078, Brian Martin 1,011, and Ed Smith had 632 out of the 9 individuals. 6 go in, and if these totals are correct, unofficially it will be Joyner, Van Hooser, Gates, Conger, George, and Chris, which will be serving a 2-year term for the next 2 years beginning in January on the Princeton City Council. Down in Fredonia, the individuals that were unopposed down there that will be making up the City Council of Fredonia for a 2-year term as well will be Angela Blair, Donnie Boone, Melissa Missy Fawn, Molly Bennett Tabor, and Jimmy Don Seibert. Very good evening here for Donald Trump and Michael Pence, as it was for all the Republican candidates, as they end up winning big in Caldwell County, as has Rand Paul, probably by 2-1 over his opponent Jim Gray, mayor of Lexington. Rand Paul, current United States sitting senator in his first term, will be going back in, according to the results here in Caldwell County. Now, these are just Caldwell County only on it, which you have the other 119 counties that you have to contend with, but in Caldwell County, Rand Paul did very well and has won here. Jamie Comer has beaten Sam Gaskins for the 1st Congressional District. Again, all these are just in Caldwell County, and for the unexpired term of Ed Whitfield as well in Caldwell County. State Representative unopposed is Lynn Beckler on it. Individuals going back unopposed for 3 of the, I think, of the 5 seats on the Board of Education. It will be Bill Cliff, Susan Beth Knight, and Kimberly A. Jackson. Now, the 1st, 4th, and 5th districts. Correction, I believe there's 6 seats on that and 3 of them up. So that will be Clift out of the 1st, Knight out of the 4th, and Jackson out of the 5th with it. And looking at other results here this evening, Lynn Beckler, if these results hold up, which they should because he's unopposed, I believe he'll be starting his 3rd term. Jimmy Comer and Sam Gaskins are battling out for an open seat and an unexpired seat here in the 1st Congressional District to replace the retiring Ed Whitfield, over 20 years as the sitting U.S. Congressman here from the 1st District. Probably one of the first states to be able to call for Donald Trump, as the projection was the state of Kentucky. That came at about 6:15, 6:18 here Central Time in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Went for him, as was the state of Indiana, and that was Mike Pence. His running mate, he's the governor of that state. They picked up 19 total votes there, and at the same time picked up, they also showed that Hillary Clinton 3 electoral votes from the state of Vermont. All of this was very, very early into the evening, and that was the home of Bernie Sanders, and that was the opponent for Secretary Clinton in the primary.
Tony Watson has estimated a 60% voter turnout for Caldwell County.
Very good.
That just in from Kathy. I've got another some news out of Taylor County, Kentucky. That's Campbellsville. If you don't know it, Princeton native Daniel Cook has won the Taylor County coroner race in Campbellsville there. That in from Mr. Josh Cook, letting us know that.
Well, congratulations to Daniel on it coming in. His race there to be a coroner up there, and I think you said that was Taylor County.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to Daniel. Let me just say, 60% voter turnout. That's
astounding for Caldwell
County.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's for a lot of places, because I've seen here before, and I hate to say we've been in the teens and in the 20s on it, but 60% voter turnout. Let's keep it up, everyone, to be able to do this. As I said before, we're going to be doing this again in 2 years. County races will be on the line. Excuse me, as will be the city council races also, and the mayoral races from Princeton and Fredonia. So let's keep this up and get involved and get active on it. And to the ones that will be going on the council and these individuals who will be representing us in the near future, let's get behind them and support all of them. And to the ones that are there, let's support them and show them we want to make our county the best place to live. And also for the ones that ran, having been on the ballot myself in the past, I know how much it is to be able to get out and run, and the support that you get. It's a very rewarding experience, and I compliment each and every one that have sought the time to be able to go out and ask somebody to vote for them, and to be able to have an election, and to be able to do that, and to take pride in be involved in your community. So my hat goes off to each and every one who has participated in this process. Most importantly, though, on it, Jordan, to the voters. Getting out there 60%, that's very good from what we've seen in the past. Shows a lot of enthusiasm here in Caldwell County.
I was going to say locally, Allison Van Hooser, the big winner tonight, but really, city of Princeton, big winner. The great city council here with everybody that's came through.
Exactly. You have the top 6 out of them that come in. Leading the pack was Allison Van Hooser, but
I didn't really see any bad scenario for our city council, regardless of who was getting voted in, but real nice city council we're going to have.
And it's going to be interesting to see what they will be doing for the city of Princeton. Danny Beavers as the mayor wasn't on the ballot this time for the next 2 years. And again, congratulations to all those individuals. And just to be able to try and participate in the process, and those that have run and those that are the voters, it's just awesome on that.
Now, Kathy, since Allison got the most votes, that means she's considered vice mayor? Is that a real thing?
Well, I think it's.
Or is she just is she joking with me? I don't know.
I think it's called mayor pro tempore. Is what.
Oh, wow, that sounds cool.
It's a technical.
I think
term
vice mayor sounds cooler.
I think it's mayor pro tempore on it, or tempore or whatever. However you want to have the Latin saying to it. But I think she would be coming up. That's traditionally what it has been. The one that's leading vote getter would be the mayor pro tem.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That is, and excited for everyone on the council on what they would be able to do. So, still waiting for some results. I think we're probably waiting for the official results on it. And let's see, Kathy, if you're there, hopefully we're getting a little bit closer.
Kathy had to correct me. She said Ellen Dunning said vice mayor, not me.
Yeah.
I think vice mayor sounds cool myself. But.
Yes, Bridgie, I'm here, and they are getting things printed out, and we should be ready here in just a few minutes to give the totals out.
To give the official totals. Well, good then. And again, we want to thank the McEnany family and also the Hughes family for being able to have the coverage for this election. Very important for this county as to what they're doing here at the radio station. And, you know, just tell Kathy and everyone here, Shirley and also Jordan, what a fine job they do. And we appreciate them being able to do this and, you know, being a part of the community with it. And WPKY 103.3, the Tiger. Couldn't have a better name for it than the Tiger, and we appreciate Kathy and everything that everybody does here.
While we're talking radio, we're currently gathering individual sponsorships to cover away basketball games. That's $50. $50 gets you a sponsorship for the game. We'll put your name on the live stream or however you want to say it. This ball game sponsored by so-and-so or brought to you by or something like that.
And very worthwhile to be able to do that, because if you want to have, and I'll tell you about someone who did 16 years of this as well, being able to do football and basketball, and it's very time consuming. My hat goes off to everybody that has done this, and you know, let's keep this going if we can. Let's have individuals come in. I'm assuming that the sponsorships can be not just from a business, from individuals as well.
That's absolutely what we're looking for on this one. Our businesses have sponsored our home broadcasts for our basketball games. We're looking to get some of those away games taken care of.
You've got to eat too, don't you, Jordan?
Well,
so
we got to get there. Is really how it is.
Gas. You got to have gas in your vehicle to be able to go there, and the live streaming that we've been able to do as well. I don't think it's gone too well this evening having me on your live stream.
Well, we had several. We had almost 100 viewers a little while ago, and up until we released those totals for city council, everybody was like, "All right, turned it off."
But for the football that you've had on that, I think that's great to be able to do that. And again, I appreciate you going with Bob and Dennis to help them and keep them straight on. And a great job for the Caldwell County Tiger football
They
team.
Get it easy, don't they? You had to go pack all your own stuff, didn't you? I tell Dennis and Bob they don't know how good they got it, because all they have to do is walk in and talk.
Well, I still remember I felt I had it pretty well when Danny was with me, but I had to press all the buttons from that end. But I had an excellent individual back here at the station, and that was you, to be able to keep me straight.
We had fun. We had fun.
We did. We did, and I still remember how you would come in and just text me information and stuff while I'd be talking, and that helped a whole lot on it, Jordan.
I often didn't know what I was talking about, but I was like, well, I found this number, and hopefully that's something good for you.
As compared to me, who also didn't know what I was talking about with it as well. But, you know, just for the sports context that we've had on it, it's been awesome. And, you know, I would just say, and, you know, Friday night it's going to be Adair County. I believe they're the Hawks.
Hawks, yeah. They're
coming in, second round game. You know, you lose, you go home. You win, you keep going. And if my memory serves right, I think if we win 4 more games, we're called something like state champions.
Something like that, yeah.
So, you know, let's get in there.
Been there before.
That's right. Yeah, I had the opportunity about 5 or 6 years ago to call the state championship game over in Bowling Green.
I sat in the studio. Yeah.
You were right here on it, punching the buttons for me with it.
It would have been funner, you know, if we could go to state this year. I'd get to tag along. That'd be all right. I'd like that.
Well,
me and Bob got to go to state with baseball. That was
I know
we felt like we were real professionals up in that press box.
Yeah, well, when you're with Bob, you're just a professional anyway.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
Dennis and Bob are good friends of mine, and I appreciate them doing the football and being able to give their time to be able to do that. And they do an awesome
Another
job.
thing I pick at them about, I'm like, y'all don't know how easy y'all got it too, because Bridgie had to give a trice use time check every few minutes. He had to do all these live reads, and we kind of shied away from that the past couple seasons.
I had a notebook that I had to keep to be able to go to try to remember.
You had paragraphs at a time to.
Yeah, but I also had Danny Beavers with me, and I'll tell you that Danny was great to work with. Danny's probably one of the longest serving individuals I've ever met that's been on radio, and we're talking about we were talking the other day on Dakota's morning program. I think it was we had Kenny Cummins was in here. We had I talked about Danny.
I've seen photos from those years.
Those guys. That was definitely when black and white was the best you could get on it. You couldn't get color or whatever. And so, you know, I was very fortunate to be able to have you here at the station, and also very fortunate to have Danny go with me to be able to do the stats. But we got to see some very good athletes and some very good
y'all
ball
did.
games. Yes, and
I got to listen to it. I didn't get to go to any of those ball games on those seasons.
But I have to say I wouldn't take anything. I did that for 16 years: basketball, football. Also did soccer, did softball, baseball. It was traveled all across the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and it was just I was very blessed to be able to do that. And I think the greatest blessing though was to look now and see these young men and women that I got to call their names when they were playing athletics, now married, have children themselves on it, and the contributions they make. So it was just a great blessing for me to be able to do that.
I'm a little jealous. I only got to see Elijah Sindelar play, I think, twice. Mm-hmm. And that was when WPSD aired the ball games, because I always had to be back at the studio. And I think there was one time where they had a Saturday ball game, and for some reason we weren't carrying it, and I got to go to that. But yeah, didn't really get to go to a lot of those ball games those seasons, but I followed it pretty well. I knew what was going on with you and Danny.
Some very good individuals that we were able to watch play on there, and I appreciate you taking care of us back here in the station with it. Still looking, you read off the list earlier of individuals that states that have come in. I think they're still looking at Virginia. I don't believe they've called Virginia yet regarding Trump and Clinton. Also, I don't think they've called Florida yet as to who is the winner there. I believe they're showing, let's see, from what I'm seeing there, it looks very close. Trump is a couple of points ahead of Clinton in the state of Florida overall now.
94% reporting.
That would be a big one if Trump picks up. That's basically where Trump's summer home is down there. I think they're showing 97 electoral votes to, I believe that's 128, I believe, to Clinton on it. And at the end of the day, that's what we end up looking at. But I think they're talking about the overall popular vote, I believe, is skewed, if I'm reading that right, across the screen from me in favor of Trump.
The U.S. Senate right now, Democrats have 42 seats, Republicans have 42 seats.
Wow.
So,
do you have any total statewide on Rand Paul and Jim Gray?
Let me see if I can. I think I can narrow it down here. Let me see.
See if that's been decided or called on it.
Yep.
I know here.
I do, with 91% reporting. Rand Paul takes it with 57%. To Jim Gray's 43%. Just about 250,000 votes separate the two.
Okay, but it looks like a very good percentage win for Rand Paul as he'll go back for his second term as United States Senate.
Taking a look at the House, 81 seats held by the Democrats, Republicans with 109.
They're showing of the 29 electoral votes in Florida, very close down there, with 2 points with Trump in the lead, showing Trump with a very big lead over in Ohio, which he is a 6-point lead there, 52 to 44% over Clinton.
House of Representatives.
They're showing Trump also with 13 votes in Virginia, lead there of about a percentage point and a half. And in Georgia, I think they're probably going to be able to call that pretty quick if they haven't already, 60 to 38%.
James Comer taking it for the Republicans in the Kentucky District 1, 74% to Samuel Gaskin's 26%.
Very, very good win for Jamie Comer. Comer, former, if I remember right. Well, let me interrupt right here. It shows North Carolina with 76% reporting on it. Shows Trump with about a 4-point lead there. Michigan, Trump with a 4-point lead, 16 electoral votes. That's only 17% of the votes in, though. Very good win for James Comer, former Department or Agriculture Commissioner, Commissioner of Agriculture for the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So he'll be going to Washington, taking over for the seat stays with the Republicans, and he'll be taking over for Ed Whitfield there. New Hampshire, neck and neck, 47.2, I think 47.1, and skewed in favor of Trump. Hillary Clinton looks like is going to be taking, well, this is just with 12% in Wisconsin, 51 to 44%.
When it comes to swing states, we're talking Florida, Pennsylvania, Michigan, North Carolina, Virginia, Colorado, Ohio, Wisconsin, Nevada, and New Hampshire.
They're showing Colorado and Pennsylvania looks like Pennsylvania very skewed in favor, 16 percentage points in favor, but that's only with 17% of the voting in favor of Secretary Clinton.
And Trump's leading in all the other swing states right now, but they're all very close, and some of those states have very few polls actually reporting.
Yeah, they're looking at the map on talking what they're looking for. Again, you're moving out into the Western or Pacific time zone, out into the western part of the United States. Still waiting here on WPKY 103.3, the Tiger, for the final vote totals from the Caldwell County Courthouse. Kathy McEnany and Shirley Boyd Gray are there, and of course it takes a while to be able to tally those up and get those exactly on it. We appreciate Ellen Dunning providing us these totals. That it looks like the 6 individuals for the City Council of the City of Princeton will be Jim Joyner with 1,597 votes, Allison Van Hooser with the leader 1,811 votes, Sheila Gates 1,535, Brian Conger 1,425, Pat George 1,361, and Kelly Chris 1,235. Again, all those are unofficial. I'm showing the other 3 individuals. Again, 9 ran, 6 will be on the council. Ed Smith with 632, Richard Blackburn with 1,078, and Brian Martin with 1,011 votes. And right now they're also showing on the networks: Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Michigan, Florida, and Colorado are too early to call. So they're in the lead. They already predicted earlier that they're checking off New York for Secretary Clinton. City Council of Fredonia will be Angela Blair, Donnie Boone, Melissa Missy Fawn, Molly Bennett Tabor, and Jimmy Don Seibert for a 2-year term down there. Lynn Beckler will be going back as 4th representative, 4th district representative, which includes all of Caldwell County. I think it includes all of Caldwell County. I believe all of Livingston County. I think all of Crittenden County as well, I believe. After that, I believe I'm getting in. They changed the districts. I really can't remember all of them right now. I believe it might even stretch a little into Christian County, but I'm not for sure. Don't hold me to that. But anyway, from the 4th district, it will be Lynn Beckler going back as representative. James Comer will be going back, from what you've given to us earlier, as the Republican, be taking the seat from the retiring Ed Whitfield as 1st District Congressman. I think you had said also 57%, 43% statewide. Rand Paul will be going back as United States Senator with his 2nd term and defeating Mayor Jim Gray of the city of Lexington. And also big wins here in Caldwell County for Donald Trump and Michael Pence. And unopposed going in this evening and will be returning to the school board will be Bill Cliff, Susan Beth Knight, and Kimberly A. Jackson from the 1st, 4th, and 5th districts, and they all currently sit on the school board at this present time.
Again, I guess we'll give the unofficial totals for the Princeton City Council. I've seen a couple of people post on Facebook that haven't heard. Allison Van Hooser with 1,811 votes. Jim Joyner with 1,597 votes. Sheila Gates, 1,535 votes. Brian Conger with 1,425 votes. Pat George with 1,361 votes. And Kelly Chris with 1,235 votes.
Rounding out rounding out the 9, again, these are unofficial. Ed Smith was 632, Richard Blackburn was with 1,078, and Brian Martin with 1,011. Again, those are unofficial.
Okay, and we're back at the Caldwell County Courthouse. And these, of course, are unofficial totals, but totals of the election. It looks like we had 59.33% voter turnout here, and we do have 14 of 14 precincts reporting. And let's see here what we got.
Shirley, are you going to be giving the grand total on all of them?
Our total for votes cast for Donald Trump and Pence look like, well, see, I'm unsure about this. I think this is the total right here. 4,507 votes cast for Trump Pence and 1,260 votes cast for Clinton and Kane. And I'm not going to go through here and read these others on the other presidential people. So I'll bring this to the station. If you want to write a story on it a little bit later on, we'll take care of that. And then the United States Senator Rand Paul with total votes of 3,887 to Jim Gray's 2,037. United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, Comer with 4,343, and Samuel Gaskins, 1,442. And then the United States Representative in Congress, 1st Congressional District, unexpired term, James Comer, 4,191, Samuel Gaskins, 1,431. State Representative, 4th Representative District, Lynn Beckler, 4,568. Let's see. Let me move over to the next. Board of Education, 1st District, Bill Clift. Looks like, let me see here. 912. Board of Education, 4th District, Susan Knight. Wait a minute. Back up to Bill Cliff. That's going to be 489. And Susan Knight in the 4th District, 378. And Kimberly Jackson in District 5, Board of Education, 392. City Council, of course, there were 5 running in Fredonia. We have Angela Blair with 122, Donnie Boone, 128, Missy Fawn, 145, Molly Bennett Tabor, 114, and Jimmy Don Seibert with 108. And now to Princeton City Council. In the City Council race, Jim Joyner had a total of 1,597 votes. Allison Van Hooser had 1,811 votes. Brian Martin with 1,011 votes. Kelly Crisp with 1,235 votes. Ed Schmidt with 632. Brian Conger with 1,425. Sheila Gates, 1,545. Pat George, 1,361. And Richard Blackburn, 1,077. So it looks like there your new unofficial totals would put your new city council is Jim Joyner, Allison Van Hooser, Kelly Crisp, Brian Conger, Sheila Gates, and Pat George. That looks like your six. And so that is about all I have from here. I'll bring all my paperwork down there to you guys. Hey, Bridgie, Jordan, thank you back there to the station for handling things and doing a great job. Bridgie, especially thanks to you for coming in tonight and working at the station and letting people know what's going on and stuff. And Kathy McEnany came up here to the courthouse to man the controls over here tonight. And I guess that's going to do it for us at WPKY. We'd like to talk to Tony, but she's awful busy in there. One more time. If you'll hang on just 1 second, I'm going to go check to see if I can snatch her out for just 1 second.
And
I have to say, I've enjoyed myself very much. This is my first time witnessing the voter count. It was very interesting. I would recommend everybody come up and watch it sometime.
It's great to be able to be in the process, isn't it, on it, Kathy? Be able to vote and see the process unfold before you on it. And a great vote total we had, 59.33%.
Okay, hold on, Shirley's got something to say. I'll switch back over.
Okay, ready? I was talking to myself. There's nothing new about that. Anyway, Tony is very busy still in there doing what she does the best. But anyway, we want to take this time to thank the Caldwell County Clerk's Office and all her deputy clerks and for the good job they do, always on election night and the rest of the year too. But elections is a big job, and they handle it very well. We will try to catch up with her sometime this week and talk to her more in depth about the election and the results. And thank you for being with us. You've been listening to WPKY 103.3 FM, The Tiger.
And we appreciate everything that Kathy and Shirley did from the Caldwell County Courthouse. That's going to wrap it up here for election coverage for Jordan Dunn and myself, Bridget Miller, bringing you all the returns that we had here for election 2016. To recap very quickly, great nights for Donald Trump, also Rand Paul, Jamie Comer, and also Lynn Beckler here in Caldwell County. Bill Cliff, Susan Knight, and Kimberly Jackson unopposed, going back on the 1st, 4th, and 5th educational districts for our school board. City Council of Fredonia, Angela Blair, Donnie Boone, Melissa Fawn, Molly Tabor, and Jimmy Don Seibert. Looks like from the City Council that we'll be having for the next 2-year term. 9 individuals vied for 6 slots on that, and it looks like that's going to be the new City Council will be Jim Joyner, Allison Van Hooser, Kelly Crisp, Brian Conger, Sheila Gates, and Pat George. So that's going to be Joyner, Van Hooser, Crisp, Conger, Gates, and George. Very good to be able to say 59.33% voter turnout here in Caldwell County. Give yourself a pat on the back, Caldwell County. That's great. Got involved in the process because it doesn't work without each and every one of us. So again, congratulations to the voter turnout. Let's keep this going in the next elections, be 2 years down the road. Jordan, I believe for Kathy McEnany, Shirley Boyd Gray, Jordan Dunn, and myself, Bridget Miller, you've been listening to Election Coverage 2016 here from Caldwell County on the station with exclusive coverage, WPKY 103.3 on your FM dial and streaming live, WPKY.com. Tune in tomorrow morning for the wrap-up and to be able to get these figures again and the news story that we'll be having tomorrow morning on the early morning show. So for Kathy, Shirley, Jordan, I'm Bridget Miller. Good night, everyone. Election Coverage 2016, Caldwell County.
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone. Help! When I was younger, so much younger than today.